Already off to a stellar start. There we go. How's that? All right, not bad for not testing it out. See that? There we go. Mustache toys. That's a good one. We gotta talk about names and profiles. All right, hold up, guys. I have my little routine. Hold on. You need a routine even when you stream, I think. Oh, laptop. How's the sound, guys? What's going on, guys? John Springer Collectibles. Thank you guys for coming. Thanks, first time picker. I saw your question. I'll definitely be happy to get to that. I have somewhat of an agenda today, but every time I do an agenda, it turns out that the best stuff that we talk about ends up being the stuff that you guys talk about, the stuff that you guys bring up, and like your suggestions and your feedback ends up being the best. So it ends up being a conversation more than me just going over some bullet points. But I do have a few bullet points listed today. If you look at the notes, show notes are definitely a good thing to use, by the way. So I'm going to try to – actually, I'm going to use the slow question feature here. I've never tried that before. I mean, maybe I tried it once and I forgot. But here, let's see. Yeah. So there's a bunch of features there. Like for chat, if you're a seller, there's the slow mode. There is announce. You want to make an announcement. It's good for your mods to use the announcement, the /announce. And then there's hide. I've never tried the hide messages, but I'm sure that comes in handy for larger streams as well. Welcome, well, all right, Thrift. Slow mode has been enabled. So, okay, the first question came from first time picker. Some questions have been answered. So, first time picker. Let's take a look at your profile, first of all. By the way, I'm John Springer Collectibles. We're doing a quick giveaway also to knock things off here. The hide mode's for talking just to you. There we go. Thank you, well, right there. They're always coming out with new stuff. I got an email this morning about some new API stuff, so I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet. But it looks like there's some good developments, though. All right, so first time picker. Let me take a look at your account. Hold on. Let me try to click on you. Looks like John is invested in making WhatNot. Hey, thank you, buddy. Yeah, invested. I love it. I know. Well, if I don't wear the vest, we can't play the game. What's in John's pocket? Which actually today there's nothing in here. We have to put something in there. It's empty. The cup was empty. And thank you guys for joining. We'll wait till a few more people come in. We only have 5 in the giveaway so far. And this is like the 12th installment. Unless I number them wrong, it's either the 11th or 12th. We're gonna call it the 12th because I think that's what I titled it. Of doing these lives and gotten good feedback on these, and I think they've gone really well. So check out the other videos. You can see how I'm looking at first time picker's profile. You can see the other videos on my YouTube, which I don't think I put the link there, and also on here. Okay, so Brian, first time picker, a full time reseller. Okay, Macari and eBay. I have all types of different items for my inventory. I'm new to WhatNot. So I mean, one thing I would say: are you trying to sell the sports cards on here first time? Yes. I mean, see, there we go. Art of War already 100% right on that. It is tough to sell sports cards on here these days. When I first started, there's only like 7 sellers on, like at a time. It was like nothing. It was crazy. But if you've been approved to be a seller, let's see what Art of War had to say first. Let's see. I would watch other sellers always for any category to get some ideas. Some will be high in singles, some in bulk. Everyone has different strategies. Yeah, so the thing is, first time, when you said late 80s and early 90s, I'm picturing what they call the junk wax era, which can be really, really difficult to move unless you move it in bulk. So unless there's some key cards in there, unless there's like Ken Griffey Jr., 89 Upper Deck. And was it all baseball, by the way? If it's all baseball, that also makes a difference too. So it really depends what you have, how the condition of the cards as well, and how much time you want to spend, working on those. It's your own personal collection. It's definitely going to make a difference as far as the format of the show. Art of War is right. Like, you have to know what your plan is there. And you might not even want to go in the baseball singles or sports card singles category. You might want to try that out, see how it goes, but it could be too crowded, and you might want to use something like the storage unit auctions or garage sales, something like that, where you'll be discovered by other sports card collectors or resellers in a category they may not normally be in. Does that make sense? Or sometimes they'll go to those categories because it's so crowded and there's so many collectors in the other categories, in my opinion. I mean, that's been my experience. What do you guys think? Here comes the giveaway. First giveaway, the winner, Art of War. There we go, Art of War. Besides hundreds of dinosaurs, because Art of War bought hundreds of dinosaurs yesterday. It was like 50 dinosaurs yesterday. What do you collect, Art of War? Let me know. I gotta write that down. Art of War. Slow mode is enabled. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's good to have the laptop set up or the desktop set up at the same time while you're using your device to stream. And congratulations. Let's see. As an example, I did my first 2 streams yesterday. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. 100 in sales, running 20 card lots of Pokemon for $1. Nice. It is tough to do $1 because did you have a lot of dollar sales? Lost a little on some, made money. But you are a new seller, so I think it's not a bad idea to do that either. Knowing, and it sounds like you did, knowing that you might lose a little bit on those. Just you're going to get some customers, you're going to get some happy customers, and then hopefully some repeat customers, and then build your own community, Art of War, as well. But it is tough doing $1. If you guys don't know why it's tough doing $1, because first of all, the fees. I mean, if we're talking, let's put our business hat on for a second. When we're talking about the fees, doing something at $1, you're pretty much, if you're okay with it, you're going to risk losing money at that point. You're going to lose your percentage plus the amount on each sale. They take 30 cents plus the percentage. Oh, 100 sales. That's amazing. 160, generate low-end cards. Okay, there you go. Title stated that cards were. So what was your meant for parents, teachers? That's perfect. And you're pretty clear about that, Art. I think that's great. You can use the note section to bring that up also. But 100 sales, that's going to be a lot of work unless it's unless you have like repeat buyers. Maybe one person bought like 20 sales from you. Then that's ideal because you can bundle everything together. 5 buyers. Okay, that's ideal. That's amazing. So it sounds like you had a really good show. That's actually really impressive to have that many sales with that many buyers as a new streamer. What was the average amount of people that you had in your show, by the way? Right, how do you set up priority mail? Where can I see the price cost? I believe, the Toy Man, what's going on, buddy? I've never actually tried to set up that option. I think it's like there's a toggle when you set your show up to change the shipping. I probably need to experiment with that. I just let the shipping do what it's going to do. And once priority shipping hits over, I think it's over 16 ounces, it automatically kicks into priority. So since WhatNot covers all of that and the buyers pay for shipping in that case, you don't have to worry about any of that. Just make sure that you're loading up the products correctly, as close as you can as far as the weight. So max of 8 viewers, 2 streams, 2 hours each, no promoting. Art of War, that's really impressive. What category did you sell out of? I think that's really impressive. I mean, 100 sales in 2 hours each? That's amazing. 50 sales in 2 hours, your first time? Incredible. Let's see. And what category did you sell in, by the way? Was it Pokemon? Zeppelin, welcome. Pokemon, even more impressive, Art, because how crowded is that category, right? That category is extremely crowded. All right, hold on one second. And do you have anything coming up? I'm sure that motivated you to want to do another show like right away, right? So let's see if Art has any shows. So Art, you definitely want to get more, this, but definitely get some more shows scheduled as soon as possible. Because the people that bought from you, they're going to want to come back again and bookmark your shows for sure, I would think. Very saturated. That's true. That you were able to stand out. I like that, Art. You were able to stand out by saying, look, like you were very transparent of what you had. And there are collectors for that. And they call them binder cards, or like you said, for kids, for teachers, for parents. Like that was really clear. So you knew who your buyer was going to be. That was brilliant. I like that. All right. So we got the giveaway going right now. It's interesting. There was a pretty good amount of bookmarks for today. I'm waiting for a few more people to come in so we can share all the information back and forth for as many people as we can. But again, this is always simulcast to YouTube. So if you are a new seller and you do have a YouTube channel, it is brilliant that they simulcast. That wasn't always there. That's kind of a newer feature for sure to be able to simulcast. Like you don't have to do anything; it automatically goes into your lives. And then if you use social media, then you can grab little clips. You can grab clips already from WhatNot, which is awesome, and you can make little shorts out of them or whatever you want. And if anybody wants more information on that, I don't do it enough, but I definitely can give you some good advice on how to do it for free and do some pretty quality videos. Um, I'm 45 and I keep up with what are the TikTokers using? What are the kids using per se? And one of them I discovered I couldn't believe was CapCut. Maybe you've heard of CapCut. Maybe you haven't. It's huge if you are aware of it. If you're not aware of it, then it means nothing to you. But CapCut is free and it's really, really powerful. I'm not even utilizing it. When I use it, I'm not even close to using its capabilities. So if you're ever like scrolling through and you're wondering how people are doing all this crazy editing and crazy sound effects or visual effects, it's through an app like that. And the fact that it's free is wild to me, because I used to use like the old Microsoft free video editors, Movie Maker, things like that, and they're so clunky compared to what you can do with something like CapCut. Same thing in the realm of design. If you want to do graphic design, maybe you need a thumbnail. Canva is free. Canva is totally free. All right, let's see. First time says, how would you recommend setting up a sports card single for shipping? So I believe that with sports cards, they did enable what eBay initially enabled, which was the plain white envelope style. I don't know about selling singles. It depends. That's only under $20, and it costs 20 or 63 cents, 64 cents for that. But of course, with sleeves, when you're packing in the mail, you definitely need penny sleeves, and you definitely would want top loaders for singles. Let's see. What's best? I mean, for singles. I'm sorry. Let's see. Want to know WhatNot is matching up to 150 in sales after fees for the first week of streams. Oh, that's amazing, Art. I didn't know that. That's incredible for new sellers. That is brilliant. Wow. That's so smart. Whoever came with that, I love that idea. But for first time, if you're selling just singles, I mean, again, I'm not sure what the cards are. If you give me more information about what the cards are, see if it makes sense to sell singles. Like Art of War didn't sell singles. They were making little packs and groups of things, which actually probably helps you in shipping as well. You don't have to deal with just one card. And you could use it's up to 16 ounces for the plain white envelope. I think they have enabled it in the sports card category. Art of War, did they enable it in Pokemon too? Just trying to get ideas. Yeah, I mean, like Art of War said in the first place, like definitely, like whatever your category is, watch as many streams. Find like the streamers that are right for you, that speak to you, that make sense. That like, yeah, you know what? I'm kind of like that person. I kind of want to emulate what they're doing and put my own twist on it. And great example there, Art, again. So watch other streams, see what the buyers like, see the formats that they like. Do they want singles? Do they want the groups? I think also you have to think about how you're going to be handling all that afterwards, like the amount of work that's going to go into it, shipping all those small orders. Bulk lots in team bags. Yep, singles always sleeve and top load. Art has got it down. Thank you, Art, for helping with that. Exactly. And there's plenty of you could actually watch. There's plenty of videos of breaks and things like that, so you can watch them sleeve stuff up. You could probably I sell the sleeves. You could buy them online. Like I sell the BCW sleeves, like 100 for $3, which is pretty good, especially when you're bundling that with another order. If you're in my stream, or if you win a giveaway today, then I can throw them in the store and you get free shipping on them too. So that's going to be really important. But first time, I would say you got to make sure. Sorry, guys. Here comes the winner. Make sure that you're setting that up. Smokey 203. Make sure you're setting up the shows now. Like make sure that you are scheduling a few out. If you know like you can stream once a week, get that up there. WhatNot makes it really easy to schedule shows. If you got to move the show, you got to move the show, but at least it's up there and people don't go to your account and say, this doesn't look like a seller to me. Envelope shipping is also in Pokemon. Art of War, great information. So you need one of those plain white envelopes, like just a business envelope. It's like a 9x4x1, I believe, something like that, or 9x4 by nothing. You can't. So for plain white envelope, they don't allow you to use padded. You have to use. That's why it's so cheap. You have to use a regular business envelope. Let me go grab one real quick. I'll be right back, guys. Maybe I'll just do a demo. All right, thank you guys for your patience. Okay, so I recently actually sold this Troy Aikman rookie. Now, there's already a few things wrong with this that I'm noticing that I should have done. It is sleeved, it is top loaded, right? So one thing you might want to do if you don't have bags, like this is, I sometimes I'll put them in a bag like this, so I don't have to worry about it falling out, and it's a good look for collectors. So if you have the bag, you just put it in the bag and then seal it like that, right? That's one way. If you don't have bags like that, you want to make sure that you put like a piece of, do I have any tape here? Like a piece of blue tape or something right there to seal that so the card can't fall out. That's another way to do it. Or you could, with WhatNot, you have like the work order. It's not a work order, it's a label. I don't want to show the person's address. You could wrap it in that. And then here's the envelope. Just like I said, a plain white envelope. You put it in here. I love to hear what Art does. Everyone does this a little different though. The weight down for multiple sales if you use envelopes. Well, that's a great question. I think I haven't looked enough into and you tape it. Yeah, you can tape the top exactly. For singles, that's a good question. I think it's up to 16 ounces, so I think it's okay. Or then it would have to automatically upgrade and have to pay for more shipping. That's a great question for singles because I have never sold that many singles where that would make a difference. Like someone would have to buy a lot of singles from you for that to go over the 16 ounces. I would think. Also, it's a monetary thing too, but that's only on eBay. I think it's every order under $20 qualifies for that. Otherwise, you have to go to ground shipping, like regular ground. Was it Ground Advantage? They keep changing the name. So I like the ones with the self-seal adhesive. What I'll do, it's in there. I will fold it also over and tape that, and then I'll put the label there so it's more compact. What up, Joe West Coast? Now, everyone's got different ways of shipping sports cards. I've never had a problem or a return or anything with shipping my sports cards, but you would put the label on there. I even like to sometimes put a little extra packing tape on it just in case it gets wet or something like that, just to kind of give a little extra protection. You also could put it in some sort of extra sleeve or maybe thin cardboard, but you can't go too thick because the whole point of the white envelope is because of the weight, and you're not allowed to use bubble envelopes with sports cards. So I hope that makes sense. There's definitely a ton of content out there on exactly what I just talked about because it's a really popular thing to sell singles out there. But again, might want to look at what singles you have first, and the value and what kind, because you may not even be able to sell them as singles. You might have to sell them in bulk if they're like 25-cent cards and things like that. That's just my opinion on that one. And you'll probably get more people wanting like maybe a little mini subset or a certain player, like a stack of that certain player or team is what I would say. Let's do one more giveaway, and then I'm going to go. Were there any other questions while I was gone? I'll make sure I didn't miss any other questions. So you can sell groups of cards too, as long as it's under. I think so, first time, to keep it in the envelope. Yeah. I would look at WhatNot, probably has the guidelines set up, but yeah, don't overpack stuff in team bags. Will bend the cards. Absolutely. Yeah. And collectors will be really upset if you pack it the wrong way or you don't use top loaders and things like that. I would focus more on the product and, not worry so much about the shipping as far as like the envelope shipping. I think it's good for your buyers though. If you are selling singles, then just sell singles and use that plain white envelope option for sure. But if you start bundling them up, just know that WhatNot might automatically charge. What's a top loader? Sure. Hard case, I guess you'd say. Hard case. There's different kinds by different companies. One we use is Zion cases, or BCW, I think, makes them. I don't know the first time, there's probably tons of generic ones on eBay and on Amazon. Why no more Joe shows? I appreciate it, Joe. I've talked about that a little before. I'll definitely start bringing them back. I just had to kind of pivot a little bit. And I wasn't, honestly, like, for one, I wasn't getting like the same type of inventory that I was getting during the pandemic. Let's say it got a little more crowded on the streams. I couldn't do night shows, a lot of reasons. And I knew I had to keep pivoting to other avenues too and not just do Joe's. But I definitely want to start doing the Joe shows again. And I do have some big ones coming up, but I just don't know when right now. Texas Storage, welcome back. So great questions first time. Do you know when your first stream is going to be? Let us know. And I'm always happy to promote other streams and other streamers. So if you're ever in my shows and you want to shout out what you're doing, awesome. And I would say just keep working with other sellers in the app to promote that. It only could be good for you. Like I'm using a recent example, Garbage Pail Kids. I sold Garbage Pail Kids. I do it like once in a while, like once every couple of weeks, I'll do a Garbage Pail Kids show. And one of the Garbage Pail Kids sellers came on my stream, and then I saw him later and I went on his stream and I ended up buying in a break. And then I learned a lot from his break because I don't really do new Garbage Pail Kids. And then I would shout him out and say, hey guys, go check out Karma Lots. He does a great show for modern GPK, or just check him out. Go follow him. And then he's come back and he's helped me and answered questions that I have. And it's just a good relationship you start building with people on here, even though I've never seen them or talked to them in person. And there's a ton of people like that, especially from the G.I. Joe community that I've connected with in so many ways. And you guys have made friends on the app too. So the more you spend talking to your audience and like connecting, the better. Like you just build those relationships. They'll want to come back. They'll want to help you. Like reselling everything. I always shout out reselling everything. Maybe I'll raid reselling everything. Reselling everything always has good, information to add to the streams and good vibes, I would say too. A lot of people, bring good energy to the streams, which is very helpful. Ship within 2 business days. Does that include date of stream? That's definitely I would say a question for WhatNot. I always wonder that too, how they measure that. I would think it's business days is what would make sense to me. Because if you stream on a Friday, you shouldn't get dinged for shipping on Monday. Task Ready, what's going on, bud? I appreciate you coming in. And just start to know the people that come in too. Like I know Task has been on my streams forever now. I know he's a Star Wars collector primarily. Reselling everything. I'm always doing Seinfeld references with. Is business days. Thank you. Well, all right. Thrift. Appreciate that. Yeah, business days makes sense. I definitely strive to get my days down. I try to ship I was at 1 day. It went to 2 at some point because, you're trying to cut costs. You don't want to have a shipper come in every single day. But I think most buyers, if you're getting things out in 1 to 2 days, are more than happy about that. Like we're not Amazon, right? But you definitely don't want to slack on that. I think more than 2 days, it's okay. I wouldn't be mad. Like I personally, everyone's different. I personally understand if people take time to get the orders out, and I don't worry about it. Like it's not like I'm ordering I need like a kidney or something, and if it doesn't get there, like it's just an extra day. It's okay. We've been so spoiled with Amazon. So why is my cash match still not reflecting my account? Okay. So I'm not an official WhatNot employee. I don't know what a cash match is. I think the Art of War mentioned though that they'll match up to the first $150. So I would definitely speak with your rep and just let them know what's going on. Whoever set you up in that, I would definitely reach out to someone, or seller support at WhatNot. You can also, WhatNot Sellers is another, they run streams on here. WhatNot Sellers, they could probably help you as well. But I think you would just want to talk to whoever your rep is, like whoever in your category. Baby Doodles. Let's see. Yeah, business days. I streamed yesterday, so today's day 2 or day 1. Art, I really should know that. That's a great question. First time picker, perfect. Now, if you want some sleeves, now you get free shipping. If you want some sleeves, I'll throw them in the store. That's a great question, Art. Let's see. I streamed yesterday because I streamed yesterday at like 11 p.m. So when does it count? I'm not sure. So is today day 2 or day 1? I would think today is day 1 for sure. That's my opinion. It has to be day 1. Yeah. Who knows? I would say day 1. The thing about the match, though, I hope that cleared that up. I just learned about the match. Art, sounded like that's what Baby Doodles was talking about, right? And by the way, first time, what do you collect? So I can send you a collector's goodie bag too. Excuse me. Pokemon cards. I'm not doing this, not yet. I'm going to do a Pokemon stream today or tomorrow. Connect with support. But I'm not really selling anything right now at this moment. I appreciate it, Kona. This is more of a, talking to other sellers and getting buyer feedback and things like that. Okay. Well, first time, maybe sports cards. Is there a team you like or a player that you like? I like to, be a little more specific for you guys and send you something that's useful, not something you throw in the garbage, right? Give you something pretty good. What's going on, MP Gonzalez? Appreciate you. I just noticed, MP, you got Elmo in your what's it called? Profile pic. Never noticed that. All right, I'll surprise you first time. Awesome, guys. I appreciate you guys joining. And if you any other sellers that are new here that might be going on soon, I'd love to take a look at your profile or hear any questions or concerns you might have, whether it's just technical stuff or if it's just, maybe nerves about streaming and things like that. Maybe you're not ready to go or you're worried or something like that. Talk about that kind of stuff. I would say you definitely want to bring good vibes to the stream. When I first came on here, I kept seeing good vibes, and I never got that at first. Like sports card sellers would write like good vibes, gibbies, and whatever, doing breaks. And then I got it. Like you don't want to it's like an energy thing you bring to the stream. And there was always like one seller / buyer. He would come into the streams and he would always say good vibes, to everybody. It would just brighten up the stream. So like, I guess the point of that is, oh, no way, Joe. You're not. Joe's messing around. He's definitely not nervous. Let's see. I'm having my first stream in April. Well, congrats, Joe. Are you doing Joe's? Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. View profile, Joe. When's your show? All right, April 4th. Ooh, even better. Hip hop, rap CDs, and cassette collection. That's what I'm talking about. Get some bookmarks for Joe. Let's play some hip hop. I'm going to play a selection for you. Hold on. A selection from the. Here, you want to hear the first hip hop song ever, in my opinion? Now, it's not Grandmaster Flash. This, in my opinion, maybe this is like the first one or two first hip hop songs ever. Hold on. It's coming. It's coming. There's two of them, but I'm going to do the one with the lyrics. All right, Joe. That's awesome. I'll give you a bookmark. But, Joe, if you're really nervous, so let me know. Hold on. I'm having my first stream. I don't know if you're kidding or not. Music CDs and tapes. I love it. I mean, that's an easy category to riff on, too. If you're nervous, just talk about the music. Talk about the music that you love. Even if you're not nervous, let's talk about this anyway. Talk about the music you love, why you love it. And, you can say something a little controversial. You could be like, Vanilla Ice is better than Eminem. And then, that could be fun. Or here's a good one. NSYNC is just as influential as Nirvana. Go. NSYNC is more influential than the Beatles. Nah, that's not true. But something like that. I could riff on that, and there's some truth in that. Now I probably just got everybody all hyped up on that one. Like, what is he talking about? First-time sellers. I was initially talking to one viewer, nobody, for 20 minutes before my first sale. Yo, Art of War, that is impressive. I'm serious. Art of War, you should be doing these streams. My God, that's amazing. Seriously. I think 9 out of 10 people would have just cut it and been done. Incredible. And ended with 100. That's inspirational right there, guys. Art of War started with nobody for 20 minutes. Could have easily, knocked out in any minute. You could have stopped after the first 10 minutes and I wouldn't have blamed you. Like, nothing's happening. This is a waste of time. I'll try again later. And you stayed on for 20 minutes and then did it. That is amazing. Seriously. Wow. Oh yeah. So wait, vintage decor. That's a tough one on here, I would think. Which category were you in when you did it? Was it storage units, or is there actually a vintage decor? I put on the wrong song, by the way, Joe. But some would call it the first hip hop song. Let me get the other one on. Hold on. What is the other one? Oh, I found it. Joe, tell me if I'm wrong about this one. I think I'm right. Decor. Okay. I was always concerned with the amount of sales people do. Was it all dollar starts with dollar ends? No. So when we got the feedback from Art, it didn't sound like it was. It sounded like a few of them. I learned a lot. I've seen successful streams, adopted ideas, seen poor streams, learn what to avoid. Art of War. Exactly. I love it. Make what I'm doing right now way easier. There were a lot of heavy hitters on at the time. Yeah, that's tough. Sometimes you can get people off of them, though, because sometimes what buyers like is they like not being in a crowded stream, and they like to find smaller streams like that because they could connect more with the seller and maybe get better deals or get exactly what they're looking for, versus being lost in the shuffle of 75, 100 people and feeling like you can't really get what you want, and you can't really communicate with the seller and ask questions or anything like that. So I could see it both ways. You could definitely look at it both ways. And that's the feedback that we've gotten too when I run these, that some people will say the big streams they avoid and they like the little ones. But if that category is not working at the time, I don't think there's anything wrong with hopping over to a more general category like this one, like storage unit finds. That could be a good way for people to find you too, I would think. Joe West Coast, first hip hop song, I'm telling you. You can't multitask. I know. You don't have to multitask, and I've either been really, really good at it sometimes, or sometimes your brain's all over the place. That's why I'm usually not on camera, because I think it's a lot harder to multitask and be on camera. Until these, I never was on camera. It was just the product behind the camera. So you don't have to worry about all that stuff. You're just doing stuff in the background. But just set yourself up with all the tools you need, Joe. You need, if you're labeling things, have your blue tape or your whatever type of tape. Have your Sharpie ready. Everything in front. And let's see. Oh my God, not super. It's not, Joe. Uh, I wish it were. It's just not. So here's why you're lucky though. From 1 to 7, Whatnot now, if you didn't know this, before didn't have this. All your not only is your show recorded, so you can rewatch, but they make it even easier for you. You have video receipts. So if you do forget something when you're going out and you're in your seller hub, all you have to do is watch the video receipt of what that person purchased. Maybe you said something, you can listen to that. If you didn't label it, or if you forgot, or if you made a mistake, or you weren't sure, you always can go back to the video receipt to clean that up. Does that make sense? Like that is a huge, like I don't say crutch. That is a huge help. That's like you don't even need a moderator when you have that. And you know what, Joe? If it is your first show and you aren't sure, or anybody, get a moderator. A moderator, why not? You have friends on the platform, or mod somebody up that you trust, and all they have to do is kind of make sure that you're not missing things, missing questions, and they can kind of communicate with the audience if you can. Yeah, the video receipts are so brilliant. Whoever came up with that needs a raise. The auditorium vintage is tough. I'm not sure how to work with that area. Might just take more time. Yeah, for sure. I wish I knew more about vintage decor, but again, watch the other streams, see what they're doing. Its product is going to be number one. Like if you have good product, it would be surprising if people weren't starting to gravitate towards the streams. Make sure, and this is obvious stuff, you have to have a good thumbnail if you're new. I mean, you need it anyway, but like if you look at Kraken Hits, I don't understand what their thumbnail is. It's like a octopus or something. If you've never heard of Kraken, that doesn't matter for them. For a new seller, like if I'm selling, let's say, G.I. Joe, I'm going to put up like Snake Eyes and Cobra Commander, all the big names, like in a beautiful picture, so the collectors will be interested in coming in. So if it's vintage decor, make sure that you're putting things up there. I'll call it clickbait. Make sure you're putting clickbait up there, not fake clickbait. Make sure it's actually stuff you're selling. Let's see. Let me see what I missed here. Let's see. I'm not sure how to work with that area. Okay. I think another question from first time picker. Thinking about having a yard sale and making it. Oh, I love that idea. Love that idea. That's pretty cool. Making it live. Would I list as storage unit finds? I don't know if that's a great question for everybody else. I have seen people go to other yard sales. I mean, there is a garage sale category and whatnot. I think someone just said that. Yeah. Thank you, Art. So you could try doing that. I think sometimes they kind of get grouped together no matter what with estate sales and storage units. I think they group together sometimes when you're searching as a user. So check that out. I think it's an interesting idea to live stream an auction, or excuse me, a yard sale. I think that's an interesting idea. You could put live people against, people in person versus the people in the stream. Okay, vintage decor is a terrific category, in my opinion. It seems to be ladies only wanting to buy from other ladies. Estate sale is better. Okay, and that's good. That's definitely good advice there too. Oh, not terrific. It's terrible. Oh, did I just say? I mean, that is the exact opposite. Okay, it's a terrible category. Just trying to figure out how to create a large show. So make sure you put a good book. Going back to that, I think I got off topic. Make sure that you put a nice, clean thumbnail up there that people can identify what you're selling. I would update your profile to reflect that as well. I know you mentioned something about eBay and Mercari. I think you could use that space for more valuable information about yourself and what you're selling on here versus I think maybe you're trying to say, I'm experienced in these other areas and on these platforms, which is great. But I think maybe lead with what you're going to be doing here. Start small, get the hang of selling. Art of War, perfect. Exactly. It's going to take a lot of consistency. It's going to take a lot of shows. Your first show is, I'm sure there's going to be mistakes. I'm sure you're going to feel certain ways about it. You're going to feel discouraged about it if you don't have a big audience. But you just have to do that and just keep doing it. And don't get in your head. Like, it's so easy to get in your head. And for the longest time, when I first started, I got in my head big time. I was like, I got to take notes. I have to have questions. I have to have funny things to talk about. This was like really early days. This was the first sports memorabilia show, like one of the first 10 probably sports memorabilia shows on the entire app. So I was like really taking it seriously. And then I realized once we got there, I just started being myself and having fun. And I watched other streamers, and that was the biggest thing for me, watching other streamers, because I'd never done anything like this. And I watched Going Twice like all the time. And I watched how they handled the shows and how their cadence. And you can watch other streamers and see what you like. And then after that, it just became more comfortable. I was not in my head. But I know when I get in my head, you start to just mess up. Like even today, hopefully you guys haven't noticed, I've done it like 10 times today already because I'm on camera. I'm usually not on camera. I did it today at reading. I volunteered to read to my kids' classes at elementary school. And I was I was killing it, like reading to the kids. And all of a sudden I got in my head, like I heard little kids laughing and I was like, I'm not paying attention. I got in my head and I wasn't even there anymore. And it's a bad way to, you have to snap yourself out of it. You have to be aware when you do that. Like if you had a bad sale, for example, is a great example. And I'll go back to the questions in a second. If you have a bad sale, they can feel and sense that, even if you're not on camera. If you give that vibe off like you're pissed, right? Try not to do that. If you're in a bad funk, just maybe you need to end the show at that point, in my opinion. So I think people pick up on the vibes. That was like the first thing we talked about actually in the stream, was bringing good vibes to the stream. So just be aware of be self-aware is what I'm trying to say, but not self-aware where you're in your head and you're like thinking about every little thing. And when in doubt, always talk about the item. Let's see. Start small. Let me just read these. I want to catch up. If I set up stuff in my shop, can I input? Great question, Wook. That's the best question ever. Hold on one second. That is the intention, Wook. That is exactly what you should be doing. That's what WhatNot wants you to do. Load up your store. Then you can import and clone right from the buy now. And even better than that, you can turn those into auctions as well. So you want to load up that store. That's another way for people to discover you when they're searching. I may have had 100 sales, but it was 5 buyers, only 5 shipments, which is ideal. It's so ideal in that situation, Art of War. It sounded overwhelming, but it's not at all. I would have cut it short if it wasn't approaching 15 buyers or something. Gotcha. Art of War, more great advice. Like, you don't want to be overwhelmed by that many shipments for your first time. Did I see Hardcore Pawn on here yesterday? No. Hardcore Pawn was in here? That's awesome. What? Cash grabbing, selling copper rounds? Wait, they were selling or buying? I used to love that show. Vibes is major. It really is. Magic World of Dolls, welcome. Echo, welcome. Thanks for the raid the other day. It wasn't awesome. It was gross. Oh, they were selling. I didn't see the thing. I just think the show is like a shit show of a show. I didn't know it was still around. Magic World. I got a lot of dolls now. Actually, I think I have. What do I have? I have. Not that I'm trying to sell you dolls right now, but I have Cabbage Patch dolls. A lot of Cabbage Patch. Big on the Cabbage Patch, and some plush stuff. And I think that's it. Maybe a couple others. It wasn't awesome. It was gross. Let's see. GTG mod for someone. Start modding for someone. I agree. Make friends on here, y'all. Art of War knows it all. Art of War is like way ahead of the game already. And you've only done 1 or 2 streams, Art of War? Were you already selling in some other capacity? On like social or in real life? Let's learn about Art of War. Let's see. They were selling gold-plated necklaces and copper rounds. Copper bones? Like Chester Copperpot? Chester Copperpot. Ah, that's messed up. So it sounds like you're saying that they were doing things that, weren't, up in the world of integrity. They were just kind of. Did they have how big was their audience, by the way? To be a TV stars like that, you would think they would have a huge audience, right? All right, let's do one more. Let's see. $2 copper coins that usually get given away on here. That's crazy. What were people paying for them? So you're saying they were selling like their junk and just unloading it. So yeah, guys have good quality items for sure. It's like the $2 copper. I'm going to get that. By the way, I want to get that microphone back. I liked using the lavalier, but I got scared of the lavalier last time. Remember, I don't know if anyone were here for that. I drank. I took a drink of water. 50 people or $50? And the person's like, your new mic, I can hear you gulping. And then I was like, what if you remember Naked Gun when he goes to the bathroom? Like, I could easily just forget that I'm wearing a microphone and just go to the bathroom. And then I'm the streamer. I'm the guy. Did you hear about, John? Oh my God. What did he eat for lunch? Like, that would be horrible. Or if we just go have like a, if you just have like a personal conversation, like in the other room with somebody, just be careful if you're aware of a wireless mic is all I'm saying. I don't know. It'd be terrible. But if you watch the scene of Naked Gun, or wait, even better or worse, what was the guy that was like a murderer? I don't know. He was on HBO and he was talking to himself, and that's how he got caught. You know what I'm talking about on that one? I can't remember his name now. And he was mic'd up and didn't know it. They're popular, so they could have literally sold rocks from the ground for 100. Wow. Yeah. All right. Well, Pizza Dr. Pepper, welcome back. Let's see. Did I miss any? Gestures of Chaos, welcome back. We have, let's see, any other newer sellers in here? Oh, Gently Used, welcome back. Hold on, there's, okay. Gently Used. I think I looked it up. I think it was like an hour away from me. Gently Used, do you have like vintage, toys and comics in the store now? Guys, look up Gently Used, by the way. Check them out. I'm onboarding tonight. Wow. All right, Pizza Dr. Pepper. I want to hear about the new onboarding process. Maybe the next time you're in the stream or we do one of these, I'd love to hear what that entails, like what it looks like, because it's probably way different than when there wasn't an onboarding process when I first got on here. There was like a few months later they did one. Like I think I was part of the first class of that, like the first one actually. A lot of vintage. Nice. Any shows coming up, Gently? Let's see your show. I'm trying to click on your profile without. All right, so Gently Used Thrift Store. We are a very small, or not very, a small family-owned thrift store in Temple Hills, Maryland. Oh, today at 5, guys. Loading items for an upcoming jewelry show. So is this a? I just gave you a bookmark. Give a couple more bookmarks to them, guys, at least. Is this a like preview show, or are you guys selling tonight? Let's see. Keep me posted. Thanks, Pizza Dr. Pepper. Man. Now we're up to 25. I was gonna get off. This happens every time. You know what? Art of the deal, Art of War. It's like almost the same thing. Like I was ready to just, I didn't have that much more to talk about. I want to do a show soon, and I was gonna go off, and there was like 9 people in here. I don't know how that happened. It's so weird how that works. Man, that's probably true too. But I ran 4 giveaways before that. Also, temporarily closed the store to sell. Oh wow. No, okay, interesting. Cool. Well, that's fun though. If you can sell from the store while it's closed, that's kind of fun too. Reselling is kind of weird though. Sometimes giveaways like tickle the algorithm, and sometimes they do nothing. I don't know if there's an actual thing about that. Just started selling on here, but have been selling on eBay since 2006. That's awesome. So it sounds like you know the product and everything, but definitely selling on here is a different animal. There's so many pros and cons you probably already worked out. But obviously, you're going to sell a lot faster on here, and you're going to connect with a lot more people in the community. Let's see, FH Comics and Cards. And you probably have to deal with a lot less like customer service nonsense. I don't see any shows set up for you yet, but check out Box Break City. Okay. Are you Box Break City on here? .com. Let's see. That's your eBay. Okay, cool. We'll check out Box Break City. Do you do breaks? Is that what it is? Let's see. I've started with jewelry, and we'll start selling all their inventory storage. How's the jewelry going so far, Gently Used? You get a lot of people doing jewelry on here? I'm thinking I will run my store from WhatNot Live. That's what I would do. I would be at the store, Gently. If you have a brick and mortar, like there's nothing better. Like especially off hours. Let's say you're closed and you're not making any money during those hours, and you can open that up to WhatNot. Heck yeah. Or even during working hours. You used to break before you had. Definitely understand that, FH. This allows you to, I feel like, to do breaks a lot easier though too. If that's something you still do. So you're gonna be selling comics mostly on here, FH, or what per se? Yeah, I think selling from stores is huge. I used to kind of look like I had a store here because we had so much inventory, but I don't have an official store. Even though I'm a brick and mortar, I don't have like a store. Let's see, comics and sports cards. Nice. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Comics, I feel like, they're like a staple. Like they're like bread and butter for people. I want to get more into comics, Lego minifigures. I feel like those are easy to store, and there's such a big audience for them. Nobody _0. What do you collect? Nobody _0. Yeah, make sure the comics, if you haven't done it yet, start updating your profile, in my opinion, and start scheduling your shows out. Even if your show is like a month out, just put it on there, in my opinion. Like anyone who has a seller account, you definitely want at least a few shows up there. Star Wars, perfect. Okay, nobody _0 Star Wars collector. I've done some crazy Star Wars shows on here. I got to get back to doing that. Nobody, like, I think it was early last year, I did like 15 mocks of the last 17. Just so many figures. There was this one time, I was at the bank end. There's one time I had a lot. The guy had 550 figures, and he had all the Star Wars stuff. Oh my god, he had like all the vehicles and boxes. It was insane. Hold on, let me do this. Let's see. But it's been a minute since I had all the good Star Wars stuff, and I just sold some of the last of that collection. It was like micro collection. New to WhatNot, and can't figure out which is better, singles or mystery pool box. I do a $5 100 card pool box with slabs and raw. That's interesting. I think, did they come up with a rule though for pools, guys? I think the pool box thing ended up being something at one point. I don't know if it's still that way, but I thought maybe they got rid of the pools. But mystery boxes are definitely fun if if ever, especially if you're new though, you want to make sure that your mystery shows aren't crap. Because when I first got on here, you'll appreciate this as a card seller. Any card sellers would love to hear this. One of the mystery items I got in my pack was a Tyler Hero PSA 6. PSA 6 was in the mystery. And it was Topps opening day packs. And if you know those two things I just mentioned, you may as well throw both of them in the garbage. And that was part of the mystery show. So as long as you're doing quality stuff, and it sounds like you know what you're doing. $5. Wow. That actually sounds incredible. I do a $5 100 card full box with slabs and raw chase. It sounds awesome. One mystery thing I like that I've seen people do is mystery without the mystery, where you actually show all the items and then you spin a wheel so they know what the top items are and they know like the worst case scenario. So it's like it's a transparent mystery show. How would I say that? It's not a mystery show. If you find what I like, G.I. Joe, wacky oddball, you know it, Joe. Thank you and good luck. Cut back on the gambling. Yeah, so I used to do I show all the items that are chasers. That's awesome. I think that's great. And they do allow you to put the floor or the ceiling. So I don't know, test it out. That's a good way to know exactly what your numbers are going to be, at least. Like, you know that you're not going to lose money if you know the formula that you're doing. If you're a new seller, though, and you don't have a big following, you might want to start with a small mystery show, maybe like a little, so you can sell out quick, right? Because for mystery shows, I imagine you want to sell out. You can't start till you sell out. So, there are other ways to do it. You don't have to sell out. Sometimes that makes the value of the auction go up once the numbers start to go more in the favor of the buyers, right? So I guess it depends on the format. What I would say is watch other shows on here if you haven't already. See what's working for them and their format, and then kind of go from there. To me, that seems like the best way to do it, because WhatNot's ever changing with the way that the rules. Like, I used to do duck races, I was trying to say before. Can't do duck races anymore as far as I know. My duck races were fun though. Like, they were transparent. Like, everyone knew exactly what they were getting. There was no, mystery to anything where they're going to be disappointed. I have another game that I do called Plink Joe. They were the best. I need to figure out how to bring those back. Plink Joe, I got to bring them back. Joe, I think that's what Joe. Honestly, I feel like that's when I stopped doing Joe shows for the most part. Was when I wasn't able to do duck races anymore. I probably could have kept doing them. Who knows? Because everyone was so happy with them, there was no reason to stop doing them. Plink Joe is still, yes, thank you. And Plink Joe is still around. Plink Joe, I use a little Plinko board. So maybe you can steal this idea or come up with your own. Afterwards, I realized other people are doing this anyway, but I had a Plinko board and 9 spots on the Plinko board, and each person gets one spot. So I'd sell it out, and then wherever they land, that's the prize they get. At one point, I was replacing the prizes, and then I said, you know what? No, let's just do 9 prizes and done with it. Because I think one time, either the audience won't win the big prize, which is disappointing, or they'll win the big prize like 5 times in a row, and I keep having to, so it's kind of crazy. Okay, pop sellers use Plink a lot. That's awesome. So watch more streams to get ideas like that. It works for me because, again, people can see no one's going to be disappointed when they know these are the 9 products I might win, or the 9 things I collect that I might win. And you tell them, like, straight up, like, this is your worst case, and I'll throw in some extra stuff. Like, for sports card people or Pokemon people, Pokemon especially, it's easy to throw in extra stuff too. Like, here's some bulk for the kids, or if you play, like, if you feel bad they didn't get it up, but you can throw a little extra stuff, and that looks good for you, and also it makes them feel better that they didn't get ripped off, right? So, I think try different things, but maybe start small if you have a small audience, because I did mystery shows, and it's really disappointing if you set up a mystery show, spend all this time on it, and then you don't even sell out, right? Then you can't even run the show. So start small, I would say. 6 or 7 people that keep coming back and buy stuff every time because they know, there we go. DJ, Dr. J, that's amazing, or DJR. See, you already got it down then. How do you build an audience in the beginning? Oh my God, that's such a tough question. So let's see, just a consolation prize for getting ripped, reselling. It's so positive. But if they know what the floor is, someone's gonna hit the floor, right? No one's gonna complain when they hit that like $1,000 card and they spent $25 or whatever, $50 on it, right? But if they hit the $25 card and they spend $50, that's what it is. What it is. That's the risk you take, right? How to build an audience. Okay, so WhatNot. I'm not an official employee of WhatNot, but they would tell you consistency. I would tell you consistency. They're spending $5 and the floor is 1. Oh, see, that's the most low-risk game possible. There's no problem with that. That's brilliant. Nobody wants to be a loser. That's true. He's doing a very low-risk, medium reward game. Everyone loves that. So you're playing games, it's fun. Maybe you win something that's pretty cool, and if not, you're not upset. But for the growing the audience, obviously you want to leverage as much social as you can, so you can bring your people over to WhatNot. That's going to be huge and obvious. So if you have reliable Facebook groups that you can post to, where people aren't going to be upset that you're doing that, utilize that. Utilize friends in the community, people in your fandom. Get them to come over. But mostly, it's about consistency. I was nowhere in this hobby. I didn't know anything about anything, and I just was consistent, and I connected with the people that bought. I was selling GI Joes at first, right? Something I collected played with when I was a kid. I'm not a collector. I didn't know people collected. I accidentally started doing it, and WhatNot asked me to keep doing it. I was one of the first action figure sellers on the platform. So I started to do it, and it seemed like the consistency was what was working. People expected me to show up. They knew I was going to show up. They knew, and they were just loving it. Like, as far as they loved the product, and then we were making it fun, and they were meeting other people. So that ended up growing the channel for sure. I ended up getting a lot of followers. You can do it by doing giveaways, of course. Nothing wrong with doing giveaways. Giving really good deals, knowing that in the beginning you might take a few little hits or you'll break even, but they're lost leaders, right? You're using these little lost leaders to build your audience, to give good deals, quality. Thank you, reselling quality inventory. I feel like it starts with that. It's number one. Everyone's on here. People are on here to have a good time, right? They're on here for the community and the social aspect, but the real collectors are also here to get good stuff, right? And at a good price. So start with that, and that's the leader right there. You'll get more followers automatically. But again, utilize whatever social media channels you already have. Anything you already have that you can bring here, do that. They have promote tools. They're trying to do as many things as they can to help sellers out. And here's a really good one to get followers. If you can get into or create some sort of raid train in your category, I feel like that's a great way for people to discover you. So if you can connect with sellers that are already on here, get in a raid train, and raid train will build your following automatically. Also, like, I personally, and I think other sellers should do it too, I try to shout out other sellers in my category, outside my categories. Just try to help each other out. It can only do well for you by being that type of person. It's hard doing the giveaways when so many people leave a fair gesture. I definitely understand the givey goblin mentality and how annoying that can be. But if you can pick up a couple customers, I only saying customers because it sounds, a couple community buyers, friends of the show, by doing that, I think it's worth it. You're right, though. It feels like kind of empty. They call them giveaway goblins when that happens. But you never know. Like, I have gotten some of my best buyers. I don't even know where they came from. One guy, I remember, he came from like a Facebook post I did. You just never know who's out there that might connect with you. So it's still worth doing all of that, I think, even understanding that it may not work. It may not seem like it's working, but it's going to be working. As a new seller, I found that making friends on here, being social, joking chat and shows, and those people about you will join the shows. I totally agree with that. Yeah. Fantastic advice from 23. And 23 just started selling recently too, I believe. Quality inventory, good vibes, all that kind of stuff is going to help you out. I've noticed that people come in, and when they see that you're not running to give you, they leave. There's no way they looked over all my chases. Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. Like, it didn't. They have the scroll option now. You can go, keep flipping through. So like, it probably happens so much. Like, as far as people leaving the stream, like, everyone's attention span now is worse than it's ever been and ever. Right? I mean, look at, like, we watch 10-second videos now and shorts and all that. So you really do have to capture people's attention with your thumbnail, with whatever's on screen, with what you're saying. I don't like to have dead air. I'm not saying you have to be a radio DJ and just keep going, or a podcaster, but you don't want to have too much dead air and time in between. Oh, the givey, I got you. Well, then that's not your person anyway. You don't really want, they're not really there for you anyway. They're just, that's what they call them, giveaway goblins. So I would just be happy that somebody popped in for a minute, and they pop out, right? I think you just have to kind of not focus on that number. It's so hard not to do that. And I've contemplated putting like a little piece of tape on the top right corner, so you don't focus on it. And Art of War earlier, I don't know if you saw, Art of War mentioned that for 20 minutes, they were basically talking to themselves and maybe one person in the stream. And then finally, people started to come in, and Art of War ended up selling 100 lots. Like, that's amazing. So, I think that's great. I think it's a kind of great thing to think about when you're doing this. Smart. I do look at the numbers way too much. Yeah, gestures, absolutely. I got this app not expecting to sell, but became pretty close to a few sellers in the past 6 months and have been convinced to try it. There you go. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen when you start doing it. I think you have nothing to worry about also when doing these. It depends what your intention is too. Are you a part-time seller? Are you trying to do this full-time? Is it for fun? Like I know sellers that literally just do this because they enjoy it and not to make money. They enjoy the community aspect. One seller I know, he pretty much only now, I think all he does is run the giveaway train raids or raid trains. It's hard to say positive too during the show when no one is buying. 100%. We talked about that before. And again, I'm so amazed by Art of War. What they did should be inspiration to everyone else. Art of War, if they're still here. Art of War, new seller, went on yesterday, sat on there for 20 minutes talking to themselves, talking to one person, basically themselves. You only need one person too. And it's very discouraging. I've felt that before. I get it. Because when I would shift into a different category that no one knew me in, like Pokemon, and it was like one person there, you're like, oh man, like this feels horrible. But just keep doing your thing. And there's nothing wrong with going off, but I would use the inspiration of what Art of War said and just keep going. Just sit on there. People will come. Like I almost ended this. One reason I have to go, but also I think we had like 9 people in at one point. I was like, this isn't really, it's a few people I already know and they probably aren't getting anything out of this. All these negative thoughts. I'm just going to end it. I was supposed to end at 1:00. And now all of a sudden we're at 25 and I'm like, maybe we should keep going. So I think you just have to keep consistently grinding it and not think about that stuff. One thing that ultimately failed is having a piece of paper up that reads, check my shop and never interact. VHS Vintage, that is a great point. You definitely want to interact with chat. Now, if you have to go somewhere or do something, putting a note up is great. But if that's the entire show and it's just you staying live without anything happening, then yeah, no one's going to be hanging out there. There's no way. Because you can also keep your shop up anyway. You also should be loading your shop up, by the way. I've run almost an entire show talking to 4 people, never sold a thing. It's okay. So reselling is a great example of someone that just keeps showing up, So definitely don't get discouraged. Keep showing up. Maybe try to get, if you know some people on the app, some friends, tell them to come in. Like maybe plan in advance too, so you don't run into that. Now it's going to happen with a pop-up. You can't control that. But if you can schedule a show a week out, have a good thumbnail, bring some people into mod, ask chat to share. I know that's tough when there's only a couple people in there. Definitely some preparation will go a long way. Loading your store up beforehand with good pictures and good descriptions of the product, and obviously good inventory. I did a 5.5-hour show one day and didn't even know that nobody couldn't. Oh no. So one of the first things I ask, and that's crazy that no one said anything to you. Literally the first thing I ask is comparison is the thief of joy. Talking the entire time. Think of it as a practice show. I would say that one of the first things I do when I come on is I'm like, how's the sound, guys? Can everybody hear me okay? How's the sound? Or maybe have it on on another device to make sure. Can you guys see me okay? Can you hear me okay? Is everything, always check with chat about that. It is surprising though, because if the second my volume went off, usually people say, can't hear you, volume's off, so it's shocking that chat didn't say anything to you to let you know. It's kind of weird actually. Hold on one second. I'm just trying to fix my computer. That happened to you Saturday and they heard me but saw nothing. Yeah, that's tough. Definitely, that's an easy one to fix. So I've got used to running with the phone. I think I'd love to hear what other sellers do. I would prefer to run, I would think, with an iPad, which I did a few times early on. I've just gotten so used to using the phone now. The computer I always keep on to have like the chat and everything up. And also sometimes the phone's not working really well. Here we go. Phone, stream, enter all items via laptop. VHS and Vintage, I agree. VHS, I think I added yesterday because I was at a warehouse that had like 100 VHS tapes and we found the weirdest ones too. Let's see, I sell white on them, VHS, and it's hard to get 10,000 followers. True. But I do 3-hour streams, giveaways, and curse a lot. When all else fails, curse. I'm going to say the opposite on the cursing part. I think maybe you're kidding though. Because I get a lot of people coming in and saying, one of the biggest things that turns me off is when the streamer curses. But I guess it depends on your audience though, right? Let's see. Oh, and that's also the way that you say it too, like your personality. I would think that like some people can be really off-putting, right? But if it's the way, it's also in the delivery and the person that you are. So, sorry, Junkman, if I missed your questions. Hold on. WhatNot only allows to list items up to, 18 pounds. How do I keep it one lot? Should I split into two? And how do I keep price shipping down? Great question. What are you selling, junk man? It sounds like you're selling like storage unit, like you're selling like big lots, like junk kind of drawer lots. Sometimes some profanity really spices up a room. We're all adults. That's fair enough. Heavy stuff. That is, I would say that's definitely a question for whoever signed up with WhatNot for the shipping. Does anyone else have any input on that? Because I don't usually ship heavy items. I think you want to load them in there at whatever they, you can you can create your own shipping profiles. So you definitely, if you're not already doing that, you want to make sure that you do that. And hopefully it'll fall within the guidelines of what they're doing. Otherwise you are going to get dinged, I guess, for shipping. I would try to make small, unless it's one item that weighs that much, I would just make smaller lots, honestly. I ship medium mail mostly. Okay. 835 max in flat rate falls under any flat rate size box. That's true. There you go. Shipping is has been kind of a moving target, so I'm not 100% sure. It always seems to be changing. Those that were on here early remember the days of dollar shipping and free shipping. So it definitely changes a lot. I've seen, but I know WhatNot definitely takes care of sellers overall. I've seen people ship 100-pound mystery boxes. I don't even know. Honestly, I need to do some research on that. I don't know how they would do that. I did a show Tuesday because I don't think USPS even allows boxes that weight. I did a show Tuesday and a buyer bought 47 lots that weighed 19 pounds and it went okay. Oh, good. I'm surprised that maybe they need permission. Probably right. I'm surprised that that one with the 47 lots didn't get broken up into multiple orders though. Because usually they would unbundle them, I guess you would call it. And let me see if I missed any other questions. Hold on. Phone or laptop, what not allows. I did a 5. Okay, I got them all. Good. Flat or 10 pounds buying 4 lots. I see it now, junk. I try to answer them all, but also stay within the conversation. Ship 18-pound and use your allowance for the other 82 pounds. Yeah, they give you 5. I always forget what it's called. Reselling always corrects me on this. They give you 5, not redos, but they give you 5 shipping chances. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember it. When it's one lot more than what it allows. Adjustments. God, thank you, reselling. Ship 18 pounds. So yeah, they give you up to 5 adjustments if you make a mistake or if it goes over. But I think it will automatically unbundle. From what I saw when I was selling, once it hit 8 pounds, I thought it unbundles and creates a second shipping label for the next one. So if one buyer would end up getting 2 orders from me in that case. And that, when I first saw that, it was kind of confusing. It automatically unbundled the shipments and made it for me in that way. So that's something to think about. But if you use the shipping profiles, I think that's going to help you a lot. As far as if you have odd sizes and you know your box sizes already, put those in. Talk to your rep and WhatNot, and just let them know what you're selling. If it's something you're consistently selling that heavy, that's definitely something you need to talk to them about to figure out what they would allow for that. If that makes sense. I'm just so used to selling items that are 1 to 3 ounces, 4 to 7 ounces for the most part. But I've never really heard any issues with that. So doesn't probably utilize the 70-pound max weight for the flat rate. Probably true. The way WhatNot is heading, unlocking all shipping weights will be an eventual outcome. Yeah, I guess VHS, they'll probably have to add on, maybe they're already talking about this and you guys know, they're going to have to add on UPS or FedEx because I think they allow different dimensional shipping weights. And also maybe it becomes a price thing too. If you hit a certain weight, sometimes those other vendors do better than USPS. I think overall USPS is definitely the best bang for the buck. Once I had an order that was over 10 pounds, I needed to make an adjustment, and it was going to charge 88. Oh man, yeah. Mess with that because where the extra price is going to come in is in the dimensional weight. I think Echo, but I guess I don't know if that's what you're saying, but because 10 pounds is not a lot. Oh, you said it's over 10 pounds. It's the dimensional weight that's going to get you. Then I unbundled and it didn't charge you. That was so smart. So hopefully unbundling still is in there. I remember someone saying it was going away and I was surprised because the unbundling feature is absolutely brilliant where you can select items or one item and take it out of the order and then ship that separately. So hopefully that should still be in there. The UPS and FedEx has been in beta mode for 6 months. Okay. High volume estate sellers have that option. Had to compete with them. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Like I said, shipping is tough in any industry that you're in. So I'm sure WhatNot is constantly navigating that, negotiating, figuring out what to do. But it does seem like they have good USPS pricing, negotiated pricing. I remember when my old business, like we would have UPS would be like, sending us box seats to sporting events to try to get us from FedEx and things like that. And then USPS or FedEx would try to take all of our USPS business. So I think we ended up using all three of them at one point. And then even like DHL, like it's tough to do it. Shipping is definitely kind of a nightmare. That's why shipping seems to be the number one question, surprisingly to me a little bit, that happens in all the WhatNot seller summits and WhatNot, the official WhatNot streams like this one. And then in mine too, I feel like half the questions end up being shipping. The stuff I like to talk about the most, where I'm going to be the most helpful, I think, is just kind of like interacting with chat, running your show, saving money on certain things like supplies, coming up with creative solutions, creative ideas for the streams. Because I've tried everything. I've tried different categories. I've tried different games. And of course, you always want to watch other streamers to see what they're doing and not necessarily copy off them, but just kind of, maybe I've gotten ideas from shoe sellers before that I run shows nothing like shoe sellers, but there's like, I could take one little thing they did. I'm like, oh, that was brilliant. I'm going to use that. Or whatever seller it is. I got an idea from a rock and gem seller. So you never know, go in different categories and see, you might be able to find some great ideas from other sellers in categories you would never usually go in. It's hard as a new seller to compete with someone who had, that's interesting. See, I don't know all the, those little like inside things reselling. So I try to just focus on what I can control, but I totally understand the frustration there. When it feels like you're getting the short end, especially if you're a new seller and you feel like you're getting squeezed out by the bigger ones. I don't know. I didn't have that experience because, again, I came from nothing in this world as far as streaming and selling. I didn't come from Facebook Live or Instagram or anything. I just came from nothing on here. So I have no other experience to compare to other than what I've done on here, which was consistency, integrity, selling good product, connecting with the people that come into your shows, just being a good, positive person that hopefully you are anyway, just being a good man, a good woman, and someone that people want to go into their stream and say, I could buy this from eBay for $1 less or my local store for the same, but I'd rather buy it from John or Springer or Reselling Everything because I want to support Reselling Everything, or I enjoy they're bringing me entertainment or some sort of value, and I feel the reciprocity to buy from them instead of buying from that other seller that is not so nice on that other platform. I have great, buyer giving, sure. It's mainly in estate sales. Interesting reselling. I have to look into that. It's actually I was going to meet with an auction house to talk to them about selling on here, to be honest. What's your take on buyer giving? So I think giveaways are amazing. I think you could look at it from different perspectives. So as a new seller, I think it's important if you want to gain followers and an audience, and just, I think it also, one thing you can highlight that it helps your buyers buy something else, because let's say that once they win that, they get free shipping on the next one. So you can say, get in the giveaway. If you're here to buy today anyway, try to get in this giveaway, and they'll be really appreciative of that. I think it's good to gain followers. I think it's, you are going to get the people that just come in for giveaways and you'll never see them again. That's fine. There's bigger streams that just do them constantly over and over and over again. I mean, for different reasons. But I would say if you're just coming on here, you should definitely test them out and see if that's going to help you. I think giveaways, I know this sounds crazy, but I use them as a break sometimes. If I need a few minutes to take care of a few things, I could probably do something else other than giveaways, but it's like a good excuse for me to do that. And then I can find out, I'll ask people, what do they collect? And I'll start to learn about that buyer. And sometimes that can help, right? So if I'm doing a giveaway and I say, what do you collect? And they're like Pokemon, and we're in like a stream like this. I'll do a giveaway right now, actually. Then I'm like, oh, awesome. Go bookmark all my Pokemon shows. I have like first edition non-holo coming in tomorrow, or I'm doing a break for Garbage Pail Kids next week. You like Garbage Pail Kids? And then, so maybe that could also help too. If you find out, maybe actually use the giveaway for time to connect with the people that are in it. And then you could, not in a non-cheesy way, in a non-salesy way, like tell them what you do, tell them more about what you have. So maybe they are in there just as a giveaway goblin. They don't want your, die-cast car, but they're just there. And then you can ask them what they collected. I guess it also depends on what kind of seller you are. So I think I got a little tangent on that one, but I like buyer giveaways is the short answer. Let's see, but just be ready. I mean, you are going to incur some cost there, obviously. Probably about $3 to $4 per giveaway. How does shipping, and that's without the product, on giveaway? Oh, there we go. Seller is on the hook for it. I don't think it was always like that, but yeah. You're on the hook for the shipping. That's correct. Let's see. I got banned from a show. Oh, this is gonna be good because I said buyer giveies can be good. Pillow soft seller idea. I don't understand that. You literally just said buyer giveies can be good and they banned you? That's weird. That person, I hope that was a mistake. I do giveies after I make 10 sales each stream. Ooh, that's a good idea. 23. I didn't think about that. So you can encourage getting sales so that you can do a giveaway and you can tell them what you're going to give away. I love that idea. I'm the same way. Great. Guys, I didn't think about that. That's brilliant. I usually run a few buyers giveies are great too. Love that. Do everything that we usually get the best feedback from you guys. Or at the end of my show, I do buyers giving. Brilliant. You have to set up the buyers giveaways, I think, before. Oh man, I got a little verklempt. Hold on. Buyers giveies, which require a purchase. Buyer giveies require a purchase. Make it something, make that giveaway something a little extra special, I think. I don't understand banning. I've riffed on this before about banning. And if you look at the old shows, if you go to my YouTube, you can see I get really frustrated when the whole banning thing. I know I like this. You can ban somebody for like one show. I think there's a difference between banning and blocking, right? So if you get banned for one show, fine. Like if somebody gets a little out of line during a show and they're disrupting the flow of the show, I like that you can ban them for, hold on. I'm going to get a drink real quick, guys. Talk about banning real quick, guys, in the chats. I'll be right back. I was going to say I never ban anyone, and I'll explain why when I get back. No banning! All right, guys. We're gonna talk about banning, and I think I'm gonna wrap it up in a little bit. Actually, I got some stuff. Hope I can go live. Okay, so put 50 buyers giveies in your concern with someone filling out the form. Interesting. Wait, what does that mean? Reselling? I've never had to ban anyone. Right. It also depends on the kind of show you're running. Like if you're running a small show, chances are you're not going to ban anybody. Usually the people that are like trolls are in bigger shows, and you do that. But I wouldn't ban anybody. Sometimes I've seen people jump the gun and they don't understand what the chat actually said, and they'll misread it and the context of it, and they'll ban them. Like I got banned. Wait, I banned North Spoon. Yeah, those North Spoon boys. You don't want to mess. I would have banned them too. Okay, North Spoon, only ones I banned. That's it. That's just a stupid joke between South Fork because I told them we don't allow those North Spoon. Was it river traders in here? Or not traders, river barters. But usually it's just the North Spooners. Anyway, thank you for the bounce. Thank you for the raid. Guys, check out bounce. But yeah, banning, not good. I don't think there's any. I think you could show people that you're above that by just. You could block that person for one show, but if you show them you're above that and you don't let the trolling bother you and all that, if you can kind of play it off, and then chat will come to your rescue. You just keep going. Hey, I was just talking about you, man. I was saying how there's a guy on here that is more about like community and helping other sellers and running these raid trains and doesn't sell as much, right? Is that true? But he does sell, so follow 80s Pop Culture, and he's also a great guy. So check out 80s Pop Culture for life. Because I was saying that some people take this real seriously. It's a job for them or a part-time thing. And some people are on here just selling to feed their collection addiction or doing things like you do to help out and just be community-minded. Are giveaways for everyone, or can you get... Oh, so that's what they were talking about first time. There is the option for... Thank you, buddy. Thank you. There is the option for buyers-only giveaways, which someone mentioned. I believe if it's still the case, you have to set that up before the show actually starts. So that actually is a great option for that. FH Comics and Cards, congratulations. I guess you collect comics and cards. What's like the main thing that you collect? I do sell comics and I do have cards. Is there a certain team or anything? Let's see. I got banned from Card Breakers and Sneaker Kids. Reselling though, no, I could see why. Reselling, I think I could see why you definitely get under. You're not scared. You're not scared to type a few. You got some keyboard muscles sometimes, right? And we're cool, right? Reselling. Washington Commanders. I got some Redskin stuff. Like literally had some Redskin stuff. Is that the same thing? I'll send you Redskins merch. Reselling. Reselling. Babu! I think I scared reselling off. Ah, there he is. Babu! He's a very bad man. Redskins? Perfect. All right, that's how we'll end it then, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. I usually say thanks for the bids, buys, and BS, but there's no buys or BS. There was no bid. I'm done. There's no bids or buys, just BS. And good information, hopefully, for you guys, too. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Watch the other ones on YouTube or here. You can find one here, too. And I'll be on again, guys. Like I said last time, I'm going to stay on here till WhatNot hires me in some capacity, contractual or otherwise. And keep watching my shows, too, guys, because I sell a lot of good quality items. And look forward to seeing you guys there. And I will shout your show out. Okay. Cut, right? All right, guys. Thanks again. I'm John. Let's go raid somebody else. See ya. Who shall we raid? I got it. See ya. It's not raiding. Goodbye.